Hello everybody. I would like to show you how you can help an English language learner pronounce sounds correctly when they're having difficulty. Well, my first language is Portuguese, so I have a lot of experience not only teaching that but also being taught that as I learned English. So one of the things you do is you observe the mouth, observe how the mouth moves, and show the student how the difference between how the student's producing that sound and how you are producing that sound. So for example, if a student is saying something, instead of something, just think about the sound and how you are producing it, and look at how your student's producing the sound by looking at his or her mouth. Look at the tongue, teeth, the lips, and how round or spread, or look at your jaw, see if your jaw is dropping. And those things are very easy to observe. What is more difficult though is when you have to think about the tongue inside your mouth, and it's difficult to see the movement, like the L and the R. With some Asian students have difficulty with L and R. However, the lips have a lot to do with that. So for instance, if a student is saying something, you can show the student it's something. And one of the things you can do is to use a mirror. Ask the student to look in the mirror, to look at himself or herself in the mirror, and say, pronounce the word. She's going to say something, sing. Now see how I do it. Something. Or you can use another student that can pronounce it the same way. And the student will say something, and you're going to say something. And that student can say, oh, ask the student for the difference. What's the difference? And the student will probably say, oh, I see that you're putting your tongue between your teeth. And you have to explain, yes, and I'm blowing some air out. So I say something. The same with sounds like va, wa, va, and ba. For instance, my Mexican students have difficulty differentiating va and ba. It's very important to explain that. Something else that you need to show the students is vibration of your chords. And a very simple way of doing that is by asking them to hold their hands to their ears and pronounce a certain sound. You can do that with me. You hold your hands like this and you do you can actually hear the vibration, or you can hear the vibration over here. You put your hand over here and say then you can pronounce sh or sh, and there is no vibration. So you help students realize some sounds are you have to vibrate your vocal cords to make them, and some sounds you don't. So for instance, again, my Spanish speakers from Mexico tend to have problems pronouncing z and saying zoo, which causes intelligibility problems. I many times was not able to understand when I first started working with them what they were trying to say when they said I went to the zoo. So then I can teach them z, and then I teach them that they have to vibrate their vocal cords. The point of articulation is exactly the same. See, my mouth won't change, but my vocal cords vibrate to produce one sound and don't vibrate to produce the other sound. So I go zoo or sue. Very good. So those are some of the points, some ways of helping your English language learner pronounce individual sounds.